All right, let's look at the equities review today. I'm just going to focus on the Dixie and silver and gold and some of the precious metals, and that's all we're going to speak about. So none of this is obviously financial advice. It's just what we see and we're sharing it. So do your own research and let's get into it. Um, so this is the Dixie on the weekly chart, and you can see here we've got a roadblock. We had a roadblock here. So that roadblock prevented us from really going that high. Um, and this buy here was also a weak buy as well. So weak buy, volume wasn't strong enough, and we sold off. Okay, so most likely outcome, and if you look at our bull and bear flags here, you can see we have a bear flag on it. And that bear flag is being proven by this, right? So most likely, most likely the dollar goes down a little bit more. One more leg to the downside is what probably is likely to happen on the weekly chart. If you look at the monthly chart, we had a red and we've gone back, and you'd expect this. I'm looking at this somewhere here as a potential area where the dollar will find some strength, and it could even go triple bottom, which will be here, through here, through here, um, will be probably where it actually finds real support. So if we draw a horizontal line through here, something like that, it could be here before it finds support. So the next leg is on its way now. So I'd expect coming week for the dollar to continue going down. If we quickly look at 4 hours and see what's going on 4 hours, we can see on 4 hours. Uh, so we had a roadblock and a pink candle. We've tried to recover it, which we did. So that job is done. We've recovered it. And now we've closed below the pink candle. So we're just gonna go down on this. More downside on the dollar. So that's the dollar. Let's move on to silver. So weekly chart. So if you watched my video from last week, I did say it would go up because we need to suck liquidity on this candle. This candle has got a lot of liquidity sitting on it. And so I would expect us to suck a bit more. We have a roadblock here, so which means that the big boys, the big boys are fading the move. They are selling into the move. And until this week, looks like they've taken their leg off the gas this week. They've taken their leg off the gas. So you may continue going up. I think that's probably likely outcome is you continue going up to somewhere here would be where we would expect it. So we would expect it to come to the Bollinger and face quite a bit of resistance there. So that's the that's the gold. That's gold. I don't think I even need to look at the daily. We had a pink candle here and we got support, and we're kind of rolling to the other side. So I'd expect this to come in. I think on the weekly, I think I need to move this to slightly here, somewhere there. This candle is a candle of interest. There's a lot of liquidity sitting around this candle, so they will recover it. Definitely, even if we're going to go down. Let's look at indicators and see what's going on. So this fast RSI is looking all right. It's confirmed the move. Slow RSI is not confirmed the move. So you can expect there might be some pullback first before the real move continues to go up. We do have a bear flag here, which is still in play until invalidated. It's not invalidated yet, and at some point this candle will be exceeded to the downside. So this move is a temporary move, and I'd expect that we'll come back down again before anything happens in terms of a new trend. Um, all through this move from 2025 here, from here, you can see that when you come to the 50, you make like here, I make it bigger. So you can see here, you come to the 50, and then you tend to motor back to take liquidity of these candles here. You come back to the 50, and if you get support, normally you go three touches of it, you tend to, and if you get support, you tend to go the other way. So this move that we've just had is just the first touch. I'd expect a few more touches of it before, if it's supposed to continue going up, it continues to the other side. But I'd expect this to be exceeded. So most likely it comes back to the 200, somewhere around the 4,000 mark before you, 4,000 mark before you start going up on gold. Let's look at silver. Silver is also probably the same. You've got big liquidity on this candle. Luckily enough, there's no roadblocks on this one. And what you've got here, I think we've got divergence on it. Yeah, we do have a divergence. It's closed higher than the closing here, so it's still good. So if we go and look at the weekly, we've got a pink candle, and most likely we are going to exceed this pink candle to the downside. We closed below the low. So gold not looking too, the silver not looking too strong at all. Um, so, this was a definite sell to get out of any spot bags you had. So I think gold continues its journey. Sorry, silver continues its journey to probably about $55 is what I would expect. I've got some targets on it from some of these. That's a roadblock. No wonder we got sold off. And let's look at these. This candle here will be exceeded to the downside. We've done that. This is our next interest candle, which is a low of 56. So yeah, 56 is probably my next target for silver. So 56, and then we'll see my next one will be here, which will be 46. And my last target for the pullback is sitting somewhere around 45, 44. So there's a bit more falling on silver before it goes anywhere. So that's silver. Let's move on to copper. Let's look at copper. So typical example, there's a roadblock on it. So you hit a roadblock, it's gonna come down. Um, if we go and look at we have a bear flag here, and that bear flag, um, it's not being invalidated yet. I think well, let's see here. Oh yeah, we had a bull flag which invalidated it. So we got a bull flag, and that bull flag we had here has played out, which led us all the way there. So now we have a roadblock. If we bring it to the weekly chart, again, you can see the roadblocks on it, which means they're selling. The big boys are selling. So if the big boys are selling, then you're not going anywhere. The volume is weak. This is weak volume. This is a selling volume candle. So this thing comes all the way back down to somewhere around here, 4.8, let's call it 4.9, at the very least 4.9 before copper continues to go to the upside. So there is there's a divergence in this from here, this part here into this part, there's a divergence. So, and that's on a weekly chart. So it needs to wash itself through. So you're going to get some more downside first on this before the real move to the upside begins on copper. If I go to palladium, we had a roadblock, and it's been sold into it. So I think this one got the early warning to get out of it here, because those roadblocks on top of their move to the upside. Clearly, they were selling and they sold initially, and then they pushed it to attract retail and sold to retail with these big sales, right? So here we've got another roadblock. So I'd expect this to continue coming down. I think back to the 200, back to the 200 EMA, somewhere around 1400, somewhere there, and then we see what it looks like. Because these are interest candles that need to be. There's even another interest candle here that needs to be, and another interest candle here that needs to be recovered. So, 1300 probably is not far off. If we look at the daily, we're still below the 50. So we're still below the 50. Although we have a very good candle here, this is a beautiful candle. It's a divergence. That divergence has not been confirmed by slow, so this thing is going to come down first before it goes up. And you got a warning as well, a roadblock. Nothing's going to happen. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is platinum, and platinum. Let's look at that on a higher time frame. It's a very similar story. Big selling candle. We've got a bear flag on it. And it pushed us down. We closed below last week's close. So chances are you probably continue your leg to the downside. And we're also facing a lot of resistance also on here as well on the 50. Let me switch that off so it's not disturbing us. Yeah, so you can see here as well, it's a very similar story. Um, Although the close is good, it was this is a fake divergence because it wasn't confirmed by our kind of our slow RSI. So um, and we don't have any bullish divergence on our tracker here. So if we yeah, so let's see monthly. And the monthly on Palladium is not also looking good either. This is a roadblock. You're going nowhere unless you get a green candle where it's an institutional push, and we don't have that currently. So I think this continues going down, um, down to somewhere here around 1500 before we start going anywhere. And I want to quickly look at oil as well. So oil on the monthly chart. If we look at monthly chart, we we had a good pump on this, which is good. And we have a bit of a pullback, and then let's go to the weekly. So yeah, there's a roadblock on it. No wonder there's a roadblock. So pushed it, and there's a roadblock on it. So chances are you're gonna come down first before you go up. So oil will probably come down to about $60 before anything happens. If we go to the daily chart, it's a very similar story. We have a bear flag on it here. So this thing is going to come down. It's going to come down into next week. I think that's all that I've got in terms of things I want to cover. And I wish you all the best and God bless.